Hello Sofa Squad, I hope everyone out there is doing well. Today we are coming with a special edition, if you will. Today we're going to be talking about like a review, my thoughts, my critiques on the total cringe fest Lifetime movie Doomsday Mom about the Vallow Daybell saga. Now y'all, this movie was as bad as you can just imagine. The case is horrible enough. The movie somehow went lower. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm just going to discuss like key points that stuck out to me. Most of us have been following this like in real time. Very similar to how the Watts thing went down. Like a lot of people followed that in real time. So when they made these movies, it was like, why? You know, we already know all this. But nonetheless, my morbid curiosity got to me, possibly self-harm. That's the only reason I could have made it through the whole thing. Now, before we get too deep into the video, first and foremost, I want to say thank you everybody. We hit 20,000 subs. Hey Sofa Squad, hey. Also, thank you to the mods, the channel members, the Patreons, the viewers, the commenters, the subscribers, everybody for making the Sofa Squad a place that even Roscoe wants to hang out on. Now, if you like scary movies, want to see movie time talk, reviews, that kind of thing, don't forget to check out my channel. I'm going to put it up here. It's called A Slice of Dice and a Spice. Check that out. You can see me do story times on scary movies and reviews of some stuff coming out. Also, if you want to see more videos of me and you want to support the channel, consider joining Patreon or a channel membership. There you can expect to see lots more content of me dishing on absurd crimes, story times, and some stuff that is too hot to dish right here. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. Alright, so let's get started, everybody. Like I said, I'm going to talk about the certain aspects of the film that stuck out to me, characterization, that kind of a thing. Overall, yeah, it served those cringy Lifetime vibes that they always do. It was very bad acting. It felt very thrown together, and there was dramatization of parts of this that I'm like, why? You know, and then other parts that I'm like, if this is really how this played out, this makes it even worse. Nonetheless, I do overall feel like they should have totally waited till after the trial. We don't even know half the stuff publicly yet, so why even go make this? Now, first and foremost, y'all, let's just start off with Lori. If you were following me, I was basically doing an impromptu watch party, I guess. I decided to watch it and comment on my community post. Y'all, I was like not even 5 minutes in, you literally want to throw punch Lori. The actress portraying her was horrible enough, okay? I'm sorry, I'm just going to call it like it is. It was a very bad performance. The character that she was playing is so horrible. She had nothing to work with on top of that. So let's talk about a few key points here with her character. So first of all, the movie portrays the character of Lori like literally believing every last thing that Chad Daybell says and lapping it up like a damn dog at a water bowl in July, okay? I could not believe that. I do not think she was that naive in the situation. I do not think she was that gullible. And I really felt like, you know what, they're portraying her out to be, I'm going to go ahead and say it, damn near a victim. And I was like, yeah, no, that's not going to pass today. Now, in some of the first scenes, we see Lori depicting Melanie Gibb at one of these, like, prepper event type things, maybe preparing to people, whatever it was. So like she's there and she's like getting into this new world and she sees Melanie speaking and Lori's like. Now here I felt like, number one, they portray Melanie Gibb, and again, who knows if this is really how it went, but Melanie Gibb is really portrayed as being like, oh yeah, you know, I know Chad Daybell, you know, oh yeah, I've met him, and Lori's like, oh my god, girl, his books really spoke to my heart, and Melanie's like, oh girl, yeah, we'll go sometime, girl, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep saying girl, just girl power, girl. So on that note, eventually, yeah, we see that happen in the movie where they go to the thing, the little speaking event that Chad was at, you know, Melanie calls her up and she's like, guess who's coming to town, girl? We're totally there. And Lori's like, totes. So they go to this event, and then Melanie's like really pushing Lori, like, go talk to him, get his autograph, do all that. And so on that note, I felt like, why are they like really, and maybe this is how it went down, I'm not sure in real life, because guess what, I wasn't there, but I really felt like they were trying to, like, Melanie was like really pushing them together, and then when that happened and the body count started to happen, she was like, no, 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 you've been fooled by Satan. Okay, I didn't know all that. So when Lori goes to the thing, she goes to get Chad's autograph. The tension between them, of a certain type of tension, is so strong yet so cringy, and you just see this like atomic nuclear thing going on. You're like, this will not end well. So mixed in with that whole vibe between those two is just that bizarre thing where Chad's game that he runs on women, in my opinion, is this crazy zombie out there. I don't want to call it religious, whatever you want to call those beliefs, that stuff. And so, you know, him and Lori are walking around and doing this, and, you know, you're just like, really, you believe this? Like, what kind of mental issues does she have going on that she would just buy into this? Now, also what I think is interesting is how they show that Chad's like, oh, you're a god, and da-da-da-da-da, and oh, we've been together and all this. And so, again, the movie really portrays it like Lori just hands down blindly accepts this, and maybe she did, but I also think that there is some kind of like she's getting something out of it, clearly. I mean, to me, she's attracted by this whole notion that she can save the world and all this kind of stuff, or the 144,000, whatever. So that dynamic's going on. Now, y'all, because we all know what's going to happen, it makes it even cringier. Because it's a Lifetime movie with really bad acting and really bad scripts, it makes it even that much cringier. So you're seeing the courtship take place, and Lori's just like, yeah, I meant to save the damn world. I've been reincarnated. What's all this talk about going dark and zombies? So at one point, and I cannot remember if it was during this opening part or if it was another part, but they're doing something, and Chad puts his hand on Lori's chest like this, and whatever he's saying, the words deep inside are in that sentence, and I was like, turn this off, okay? Turn this off right now. Just no. No, absolutely no. I am done. Now, also, obviously, there's Chad Daybell. First of all, I would venture to say that the actor portraying him is a little bit more attractive than Chad. So there's that, because there is this whole thing of like, okay, like, really? I'm not seeing this whole thing with Chad. But that's besides the point. So Chad is really depicted. Well, let me just say this. If John Pryor watched this damn thing, we're going to be seeing some emotions come forward soon. Because it didn't do his client any damn favors. Okay. It literally painted him out as the master manipulator that was pushing this whole thing along. With the second that anything got in the way of him getting Lori, it was, they've gone dark. You know, oh, the kids have gone dark, this and that. Which, I mean, we know this is what happened. But the movie is portraying it like it was 100% Chad, and that Lori would be like, oh, they have? No, there's no way. Absolutely not. And then later she'd be like, oh my God, he's right, they have. And then, of course, people end up missing and, you know, losing their lives over this. To me, what I saw playing out between Chad and Lori was, number one, two people who are hiding behind religion, God, whatever you want to call it, to get what they want, and using that as manipulation tactic. Whether they believed it or not, I still don't know. I just don't think that they did. I think that they were that much in like denial of themselves and were that narcissistic and just out there. I just think overall that this was a whole thing of, number one, Chad wanting to get some, Lori wanting to be the queen of Doomsday, and greed and lust and revenge against Kate and Larry on Lori's part. So that all being said, let's go ahead and just start talking about some of the other people. And y'all, the first damn person's first, Alex Cox. Now, I'm going to say this. How would you rate the acting performance? I want to rate it. Okay, none of these people I would, because it was so horrible. But I almost felt like with Alex's character and the actor being so horrible, I'm like, I buy this. Like, I totally buy this, because a little bit that we've seen of Alex, I'm like, I'm not sure what's up there. If you were to ask me, of all these people, who do I think probably actually believe Chad Daybell, I'd be like, Alex. I do. So a couple of things. So he has that like flat, yeah, I love my sister, she's like everything. You know, also for one scene they do depict him doing that stand-up comedy, and I was like, oh my God. At that point I was like, this is so painful, I might sue Lifetime for like damages. And then I have to question why I keep watching it. Like I said, I think it's self-harm. But they depict that, and Lori's in the crowd awkwardly laughing. Like, it's really not that funny. It's actually kind of sad and pathetic. So there's that. Now, another scene that they depict is when Charles loses his life to Alex. The self-defense thing. And they show this, and again, we've seen the video 100 times of Laurie talking to the police, and it's horrible and cringy, so this actress can't do that any justice trying to recreate that because it's so terrible, and to see somebody even try and recreate that is bad. But seeing Alex come out there and play his whole, I don't know, I got hit with a bat and there's this little scratch, all of that, I'm like, how did the police never stop this right then and there? Both Alex and Laurie in real life, and then seeing it reenacted, whatever, it's just no. There are so many red flags here. The fact that that got written off as self-defense, just, I have no clue how. Now, probably the cringeworthiest scene of this was when Laurie ordered those rings from Amazon, whatever, and for her and Chad, you know, eternal thing. And they show up at the house and Alex is there and he gets the package and he opens it and it's a wedding thing. It's a little, you know, ring box. And so he takes it and he gets on his knees like, will you marry me, to Laurie? And I'm just like, ugh, the accuracy of that, even if it's fictionalized, is probably disturbingly true. Because, I'm sorry, there's just something weird between him and Laurie. And I think Laurie knew that and exploited him for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would kind of do whatever for her, and she knew that and used him. Nonetheless, they do that. And I'm sure that the writers or whoever are trying to say, we need to show a scene to show how, like, Alex was, like, devoted. And they're like, oh my God, I've got it. When the rings arrive, he can pretend to propose. And I'm just like, yo, I mean, it's so bad. Let's talk about Melanie P. So who I'm talking about is Melanie Pawlowski. Y'all didn't do her no favors in this. The actress did get that kind of deadpan look to her eyes that she has down. The performance was horrible. And again, I'm just like, that you can't tell me that girl didn't know what was going on, point blank, period. And that's kind of how they portray it, where I'm just like, wait, hold on. You're going to pretend like you didn't know that somebody tried to shoot, you know, take Brandon out? No. No, I don't buy that. I don't buy that you just magically were like, oh, Tylee's gone to college. I don't. She was all up in that whole scene. She moved there. She just upends everything. I'm leaving, this, that, and the other. And that's how they depict it. So for me, that part played out very much how I interpreted it when I watched that play out in real life. Because I was like, I'm sorry, this girl, I don't believe anything she says. I don't believe that she didn't know something. She was too intertwined with them. Now, y'all, let's talk about the portrayal of the victims, okay? The direct victims, Tammy, JJ, Tylee. Okay, so Tammy is not really shown that much in this, enough to see she's alive and healthy, and that, you know, Chad has a little thing that she's gonna, you know, something's gonna happen to her, car wreck and all that. It doesn't happen. Laurie's shocked. Laurie kind of hangs this, well, maybe this isn't supposed to happen. And so you can see this level where they're showing it in the film, the movie, whatever, which is what I think was probably more true, where Laurie is using like this emotional manipulation to get what she wants, and that kind of a thing. You know, clearly a homewrecker on multiple levels and probations. So there's that. So obviously Tammy doesn't make it. It's sad and depressing. Now, here's the thing. Let's talk about the depiction of JJ and Tylee. First of all, it's heartbreaking to, number one, see these two children, because we've seen videos, we've seen that kind of stuff, whatever. But then when you see them being portrayed on television, and the performances, I mean, bless those little children's heart, but it, you know, I felt like they made Tylee this one-dimensional character, and I was like, if you had done anything, if y'all had sprung for anything, spring for some talent for the people who are depicting the victims. Because with Tylee, I get that we've heard from people, oh, she was, you know, kind of a teenager, but it was like that was her only personality trait in the film, and I'm just like, I think I would like to see her being depicted as a little bit more, you know, warm, and they tried to show that with a couple of scenes between her and JJ, but the actress just wasn't serving the right vibe there. At JJ, it was almost like they tried to do a few scenes to show, okay, he's overwhelming Laurie, which, y'all, I don't think it would take much to overwhelm her. When her sights were set on something new that she wanted, it was like, I'm done over here. Coupled with the revenge aspect towards Kay and Larry, because I do think that's a part of it. Now, the depiction of Kay and Larry, I was like, okay, you know, they're kind of being shown doing these interviews with Nate and things of that nature. And the gentleman who was playing Larry is from Dallas, the original Dallas. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that. I'm like old. But I didn't really have an issue with that. I mean, clearly in real life, they were like on it and completely in this whole situation saying, what's wrong? We need answers, so on and so forth. And I felt like they showed that in this movie without like going over the top or whatever, because that's the thing where it's like, well, yeah, go over the top with that because you damn near had to get some answers in this situation. Having also, we're going to like revert back here because I just remembered that. So during the scenes that they showed where the police went to investigate after Kay and Larry were like getting everybody riled up, and they go to the Rexburg apartments and they open the door, they knock, and it's Chad and Alex, and they're playing it off like, Lori who? Yeah, that's her brother, her sister, his sister. I've met her some. And he's like, oh, your wife. And it's like, Urgh. And then they go talk to Lori. What I'm getting at here is you can see where they're all trying to play it off like they didn't really know each other, but the cops knew this other information. So these major red flags were going off like something's absolutely not right. Now, y'all, I would not be doing this terrible movie justice if we didn't talk about portals. This part right here, I was like, I'm going to put my hand to the TV. Put my hand to the TV. Okay, so this is how they depict the portals. And this is the kind of thing where when you see this being played out, like on the television, I'm like, okay, Paul, try and imagine this with like grade A actors and actresses playing the parts. And their whole motivation for the scene is there's going to be a portal and this is how you and Chad are going to communicate and he's going to tell you how it works. And I'm like, I don't care who played those roles. I mean, I would be like, what am I watching? This is insane. So when Lori had the event, when Charles was out of town and she had all these people over and Chad comes to speak and all that, the way the movie portrays it is when it's time to go to bed, Lori's kind of a little bit coy and she goes upstairs and he's gonna like sleep downstairs or whatever. And so then the next morning he wakes her up in the room and he's like, I had a premonition. Charles has gone dark, and she's like, no, it can't be, as if she really believes this. So, and I'm watching this and I'm like, he didn't get any last night, so now he's trying to work it up this morning. That's all that was about. And he goes down, he's trying real damn hard. I've never seen somebody go down the path of this whole thing to get dates and, sex or whatever, but it's really sad and pathetic and obviously disturbing. So they're doing all this, and so then they go in the closet, and he's like, I made a portal in here, and I was like, oh my God, here we go. And he's like, you can talk to me in here. And then they start making out, and I guess they broke in the portal, maybe? I don't know. But I was like, oh my God, are we going to have to watch them defile the damn portal? So then later, when Chad is back at home, kids and Tammy all healthy, they show a scene where Lori's in the portal, doing things you do in a portal. And she gets all pissed off at one point, and then she calls him on the phone, and she's like, why aren't you answering in the portal? And I'm just like, what will they think of next? Imagine the day where you have to use a cell phone to call someone instead of talking to them in the portal. What is the world coming to? So she calls him, and he's like, oh, look, this is what's going to happen with Tammy. I told you I had the vision and all this. And they're making out like she legit believes this portal BS. And I'm like, no, I don't. I do not believe this. I do not believe that she was that naive. I just don't. I'm sorry. If it all comes out when court happens or whatever, maybe so. You know what I'm saying? But she's going to have to do the damn performance of her life, because so far, I ain't buying it. Hey, sorry to intrude here. This is the future me that was editing the video and was like, Paul, you forgot to talk about the biggest bombshell jaw on the ground thing in the whole video. So I was like, I have to go back and record this and put it in. And what I'm talking about is some of the last scenes where Lori is incarcerated in jail. They're depicting her with her, inmate friends, her girls, and one of them's eating Skittles. You already know where this is going. You already know. And so they're talking and everything, and Lori's just like going on in her little, out there world. And the girls are eventually like, girl, you know, they just found your kid's bodies on your husband's property. You might need to really become active in your case. And she's still just in that, no, everything's going to be fine. Well, she's also talking about her attorney. And so then she makes this revelation about like, you know, I know that he's going to help me and all this stuff. And she's like, he used to be one of my sons in a previous life, one of my baby boys. And I'm like, oh my God. No, she didn't go there. But oh yes, she did. And now literally, I think her last line, I think it's her that has the last line in the movie, is something along the lines of, I'm just glad his eyes are blue. And I don't know if they were trying to be artsy with that. I don't really know what they were trying to do, but it was so cringy. But I wanted to kind of just unpack it for a second, because I literally was like, you know what, I'm really afraid to say this, but it damn near makes sense. So, I mean, we know that, you know, Mark came into the picture when this was like still not the kind of case that it was now. It's more like a family thing. And so there is like the technical reason why he's there, whatever. But on the same note, I'm just like, you know, this whole crowd, they assign these like biblical roles to themselves, to others, to, I mean, I don't know why, but they do. So I was like, this would make sense. Like, Lori's probably running some game on him, you know, or something. I don't know. But, or vice versa. I mean, who knows? But regardless, that's the story that they're portraying in there. And I'm just like, you know, it will not shock me if that is true or not. Now, the other secondary part, remember how I said that her friend was eating Skittles? So right before she goes to meet, you know, they don't say the name, but Mark, the person eating Skittles, Lori's like, can I have one? And y'all, she starts doing her makeup with it, and I was like, shut this off. Just, I've said it 100 times throughout the whole movie when I was watching it. I was like, turn it off, turn it off. But, you know, I was like, I am done with this pure fail. Alright, y'all, I had to come and insert that little commentary thoughts process on that. So let's finish this out. Now, I know a lot of people out there are like, I can't get this, I can't get this. Okay, I'm telling you right now, consider this video like I watched it so you don't have to. It's ridiculous, it's stupid, the acting is horrible, it is bad, 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 bad. And I'm not joking, y'all. I mean, I can go down the Hallmark Christmas, you know, thing when it comes out, and I'm like, oh, it's so cute, even though it's bad. Y'all, this is like many levels beneath that quality of production on Hallmark Channel. So, I mean, do with that what you will. This did not need to be made anytime soon. I don't know how this is going to go over for the trial, because I'm like, seriously? You know, like, why did you even make this? Like, we don't even know half this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, none of this is like 100% like, okay, here we go. Here's the direct evidence type situation. So that's my take on it. Again, eventually it will probably be on Hulu, and you can like buy it there for probably $1.99 and watch it. So just wait until then. Now, in the meantime, again, I want to thank everybody for making this channel possible. Thank you for 20,000 subs. Don't forget to check out my little horror movie channel, and don't forget to check out becoming a member or Patreon if you want to see lots more videos by me. Now, that is it, everybody. And until that next time that we talk, I'll see you then.